Alrighty. Uh, Today is November 23rd, 2025, and it's another Sunday review. I don't think I did one these past two Sundays or Sunday. Reason being, truthfully, just haven't been trading. Which means I haven't been waking up early, which means I haven't been really paying attention to the market too much. I have been paying attention, mind you. I just haven't been as diligent as focused on the market. I just don't really see much opportunity for either breakout setups or parabolic shorts, mean reversions. Now I think there's mean reversions to the long side. But and EPs, I don't think there's anything. I mean, I would notice pretty early. I don't know if it's because I noticed it or I was just losing. Oh, sorry. That a lot of these names are after this failed breakout here. I was like, okay, this is not good news. And then how quickly this failed. You see, like, they was trying to get some support here, and then just failed horribly. Palantir was a leader. Nvidia was a leader. Still red on the day. I mean, still red for these past couple weeks. But see this breakout here, failed. Same thing. Um, Hood as well, failed. Let's look at other names. Um, BE here also gapping up and then failing. What other names did we see? CLS, you know, it's getting a little more choppy. CLS was nice and clean in the beginning, and then it started getting gappy. It's choppy. Same thing with BE. It's very similar. Credo, same thing. Looked like I was breaking out of this range. Completely failed. Um, yeah, it's just. I mean, these memory names are finally coming back down to earth. Hood. I already said this. Lumen. This was kind of like a high beta. Um, this BLDP as well. These battery names also took some hits. I mean, there was signs about a couple weeks ago, and it first started with Nvidia and Palantir failing. Um, that's what I believe. As you can see here, coincides with the market. This Nvidia. So this is the 28th, right? Palantir. These were the two ones that I was like, okay, well, these are starting to fail. Um, Actually, I think the market was like kind of red before they were. Yeah. But anyways, those two big ones, they had a great breakouts, and the fact that they failed out of those breakouts were kind of telling for me. So I was like, well, this market is starting to sell off. You can sell the quantum names. These were done before. Um, let's see. Let's go to the watch list. Yeah, quantum names for Getty. Like, I mean, these things were done. Like, I mean, think the high beta names were selling out first, and then the big cap names are eventually got crushed. Um, so yeah, I haven't been trading these past couple weeks. I've been paying attention. Just kind of been studying, watching videos, doing stuff, doing whatever. But I have not been touching the markets at all. Excuse me. Drinking water. Probably sounded like an alien right there. But anyways, oops. Yeah. So these quantum names got crushed. Everything's getting crushed. But so I haven't been touching this market at all, and it allows me to sleep in when I don't trade. Usually, I'm on the West Coast. I'm on the West Coast, so usually I have to wake up, 5:30. And that's still kind of like late, I would say, compared to excuse me, relative to like what people on the East Coast are waking up, at what time they're waking up, or people in Europe. Like, for example, waking up at 7 on the East Coast is equivalent to waking up for me waking up at 4 a.m. People that wake up at 6 a.m. over there on the East Coast is like 3 o'clock for me, 3 in the morning. And during the morning, I work at night sometimes, so I'm not getting off of work till 10, 11 o'clock. By the time I'm all ready, 11:30, 12, or 10:30, 11, anywhere from 10 to 11, roughly 11:30 maybe. That's only like 4 hours sleep. I won't be able to trade. So I'm allowing myself to sleep in now and doing some studying. So a lot of these questions are going to be irrelevant because I haven't been touching anything, and I really don't think there's any opportunity recently. Even looking at Nvidia, like I told one of my coworkers, I don't want to sound like oh I'm smart and everything, but guys, I can't make any money. So this is not my full time job yet. So everything I say right now doesn't really make. Does it, I mean, yeah, I was right, but whatever. I didn't make any money. It was on Wednesday. I was at work, and we were just talking about bonds and gold, and whatever. He was asking me questions. Not that I know everything. I certainly don't. I can barely learn how to buy a stock. But anyways, he was asking me, or we're talking about Nvidia, and he was talking about inflation, bonds, and real estate. He just asked me a bunch of questions that I tried to answer my best to. But anyways, I was talking about Nvidia. I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, they had completed earnings, or I'm sorry, they beat earnings. I was like, yeah. I was kind of expecting that. Nvidia somehow always beats earnings, no matter how high the earnings go. They just always beat them. And he was like, yeah, they're like up 6%, 7%, from the open or close. Sorry. And I was like, oh, nice. He's like, what do you think? Should I buy it or what should I? Because he was looking into gold. He's like, yeah, should I buy gold? I was like, you want to buy gold now, like 50% later, 60% later? Anywho, the conversation steered to. I was like, if you're uncomfortable with the market right now, because he's also invested, and you wanna, you know, take off some risk. I told him I was like, listen, the market is gonna gap up tomorrow, following this Nvidia news, and just sell it first thing in the morning, because this is what I mean. This thing is gonna get sold off all day. The sentiment's not there for it. The sentiment is not there for this earnings beat. Maybe back in June, July. But this was not the sentiment for an EP or earnings beat on Nvidia. This just wasn't it. There's also another bunch of other names that had earnings and got sold off. I think CLS one of them. Yeah, see here. This just sold off. I don't know about Light. Light's doing well. What else? Yeah, I mean, there's a couple other names. I forgot what they were. I mean, I think Lemonade. It's another one. Had a great big move, but now it's below the move. Um, Credo, same thing. I think they had earnings. Did they have earnings? I don't know. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Oh, I think it was BE. No. Yeah, it was BE. Gap up and it just fails. So a lot of these names were getting sold off. Tesla as well. Tesla has this nice range here. Gets sold off. So, anyways, I'm just running around in circles saying I'm not trading and why I'm not trading. So let's answer some of these questions. This should be a short video, unless I keep talking. So, pre-market execution and preparation. Out of 5 trading days, how many mornings were spent on full-time prep, scanning, game plan, levels, news flow? 0. On days prep, didn't prep. What I skipped or rushed, I was sleeping in. There was no reason for me to wake up and waste my precious sleep for no opportunities. How did lack of prep impact results for the days? They didn't. I wasn't gonna trade those days anyways. What one improvement will ensure consistent pre-market prep next week if the market is doing well, and there's some opportunity. But honestly, I don't see any for my style. Although my style is not that profitable right now, because that's my fault. But it's not ready. The market is not in the right spot. I mean, we could start breaking out of this range and things start moving, but we'll wait to see that. Execution versus opportunity set. Did trades align with setups? I didn't take any trades. How many quality A plus setups did you take? 0. How many did you miss? I don't think I missed any. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I don't think I missed any. Maybe, I mean, light. This is not even really a setup. PBF, no. Here we go. Growl. Maybe growl this day. Maybe, but I think this is still in a range for me at least. Um, GH on this day. Buying the gap up here, or I mean buying the breakout We're at 97, and then getting a 9% move. Maybe GH. That's probably about it. I mean, I don't really see anything else. You see anything else breaking out? 'Cause I don't. Unless you do the reverse. Yeah, this is the one I was going to talk about. IONZ, which is IONQ. Short. I was watching this one. I should have bought this one this day. 2 weeks ago. This was a perfect breakout. And then also I was looking at more of the breakdowns. Obviously, you want to look at this. I mean, this is if you flip this, if you like, change the colors and flip it upside down. This is like a perfect breakout. If you can see it here. Oops, this is not good. No, come on. What the hell did I do? Lord have mercy. What the hell's going on? Okay, here. Oh no, what did I do? Uh, okay, there we go. Fix it. Alrighty. Yeah. So I think this was. I know it wasn't this week, but these inverse quantum names were probably great breakout buys rather than shorting them. I think you get more. You make more at least. Yeah, I don't see any really great breakouts at all, if any. I mean, this one was nice. This one was actually nice. I give it to this one. This one was good. I mean, writing this 50-day here, this is clean. That's great. I gotta screenshot this one, add it to my database. That was a nice one. I've seen those before, especially on these high flyer names like this. They do happen often. I think it happened at GameStop. Yeah, no. This is not the real move. This is the real move. Let me kind of see it here. Kind of, sort of, not really. Similar idea. This was kind of a horrible downtrending one, but there's some names I think I have in my database, but I don't want to make this video too long. They do have that similar style, where they make a big move, come back down, go sideways, and then break out again. And it's just like a 1, 2, maybe 3-day thing. Like it won't last. So this one we'll see. I mean, I could be wrong. Most of the time I am. So, but if you look at these things, which was NVRI? I mean, you're not catching this. This is after hours earnings, unless you were gambling on it before. But HLF, Herbalife, don't know what the news is on this one, but I guess a pretty good EB. I don't know what this is. Could be. It's not a buyout, but it could have been earnings. I have no idea. I'd have to check. I don't see anything. This is pretty gross. It's also biotech. Not touching that. Medical services. All of these biotech names and healthcare names. This one. I was in this one earlier in September, and then it kind of got weak, sold off. Once it crossed under the 10, a couple weeks later, broke out again, which is very nice. Nice, clean move. EPS. What's this one? Yes, horrible. Maybe this one. Some more, like all the bunch of medical stuff. Everything medical has been. All of these biotechs and healthcare names have been going absolutely wild. This one here is kind of horrible setup in my opinion. Huge down day, then gaps up overnight on earnings, and then takes off. Well, I mean that could have been a good sign though, honestly. But no, this is hindsight because Nvidia did the same thing, but Nvidia failed, right? It gapped up over the previous day's highs and sold off. Like if this one took off this way, I'd be saying the same thing. But I'd be saying, oh yeah, this was possibly maybe if it. I mean, this one you could have waited for the confirmation just for it to get over the 10 or this area here, but I don't know about this one. Light. This one was a good one, but this was a couple weeks ago. This one I had it on watch. I guess I got rid of it. Also another biotech, and it's related to phase three data. And I've seen a lot of these where some news comes out randomly that it doesn't work or failed or it's dangerous, and the stock goes down like 80%. And I don't want that happening to me. So I'll take the easy way out, and not touch them at all. Yeah, I mean I don't really see much. I'm gonna be honest with you. This one's actually kind of a nice setup, but another biotech. These Most of these biotechs that you see like kind of have nice setups and all this that they have horrible pasts. You know, it's kind of like a whore or a girl who was you know being a hoe in high school and college. You know, all of a sudden she wants to settle down, and now she goes to the church and finds her finds herself a low body count husband. You know, settles down. That's what these look like. Just horrible pasts, and now they're looking okay. I mean, some of these. I mean, look at this. Like now, this one has changed character recently. This one's cleaner now. But in the past, not touching that. Look at that. You know what I'm saying? These suck. This is horrible. I'm not touching any of these things. Now this one also has had horrible past. Even when on the way up, it was super choppy. But yeah, you kind of see this here. Like this is not really clean. It just EP here and then gap down. Chop, chop, chop on the way up. Doesn't give you a really good setup. There's some earnings news, I believe. Yeah, and then tech consolidation. This has probably been the best setup it's had in maybe its lifetime. Let's be real. Okay, maybe. Um, yeah, maybe in its entire lifetime, other than here. And this one was still a rough one, but if you look at it from here on, it's great. But also some news. Receives Medicare coverage for Guardian Reveal. So this was on some news. This one was just pure breakout, and that's probably been the best setup this stock has had. Anyways, going back to this question, let's get this over with. Like I said, I'm dragging this along. For each, didn't miss any setups. I truly believe I didn't miss any setups. Maybe that one. Was GH? I forgot what it was. What was your key improvement goal last week? It was to only trade the best setups, and there was any, so I achieved that. Was progress measurable? Yeah. I didn't trade any horrible setups, and I didn't trade any A plus setups because there wasn't any. Um, so I'm saving myself money here. I'm not losing any more money. If not, what blocked you? Nothing blocked me. What measurable goals is set for the upcoming week? Same thing, trading the best setups only. Was there a clear process, objective to start the week? Just not profit target? Mm, yeah, it was what clear process objective. Other than trading the best setups, that was the only thing I had. How did pursue the objective look each day? Honestly, didn't pursue it. I did pursue it, looking at scans at night and seeing if there's anything set up. And since there wasn't anything set up, the objective was, I guess, canceled. Because the objective was to trade the best setups. And if there's not any setups, then I'm not trading at all. Just simple. Simple, simple, simple. If it's A plus B equals C. If there's no setups, I'm not trading. Pretty simple equation. What measurable goal is coming up? Okay, okay. Where am I? Where am I? Okay. Where did focus drift and why? I would say, I mean, it's always social media. I've come to the conclusion that I have an addiction to social media, and that's why I set limits for myself. But even those limits, I still kind of go, especially now since there's nothing to do with the market. I'm just always on social media now, as if I wasn't before. But yeah. Yep, yep, yep. How will alignment with objectives be maintained despite emotions or distractions? Um, honestly, honestly, very easily. I just won't trade if there's if there's no setups. Pretty much it. And emotions, FOMO, and greed don't really pop up much because I know one trade is not gonna. For the FOMO thing and the greed thing, it's very easy for me. In terms, I guess, in my brain, mind conscious, to understand that one trade will not make my career. Honestly, like I can, let's say I 10x my account in one day. I still gotta trade. Like that's not life changing money. It is life changing money, but it's not like I'm set for the rest of my life type of money. And the risk of my whole account being lost on that trade to make 10x, um, and still having to trade, I think it's gonna cause bad habits. So that fear, or no, that FOMO and greed and those emotions don't really pop up much. The big one that pops up much is FOMO. When there's like a great setup and I'm too soft to take it because I'm afraid of losing. That's when the FOMO pops up. That's where the fear comes into. NA, NA, NA. Uh, nope, nope. It wasn't any. How will time be scheduled for at least 2 replay sessions on personal playbook setups? Just scanning back in the day, or not back in the day, but looking for setups in the past. A project that I've been working on. I don't know if I said this last video. I don't think I made a video last week. Um, Process that I'm trying to figure out. I talked about it, but now I'm implementing it into. I don't have Excel. I don't want to pay for it, so I have Google Sheets. Um, so I have this thing going on. It's called this. This is what it looks like. So I'm doing it by hand. I did take coding and analytics and I learned Python and stuff like that, but this is kind of more niche. It's hard to code for breakouts. Like that thing, I don't know if that really exists. I'm sure someone can do it, but it's very technical, obviously, and breakouts sometimes aren't very technical. There's no, there's like there's rules, but the rules are kind of wide and broad, and it's also market sentiment related. So I got to do this by hand, and the idea was, if you look at my if you look at my chart here, just for example, I'm tracking to see if there's a correlation with. I mean, there's obviously a correlation with the ADR and the size of the move. I could probably tell you that one. Like that one's probably pretty obvious. But I'm trying to look for tightness before breakout. And a lot of people say they claim tightness. You want to see tightness before breakout. Tightness before breakout. And I guess looking at these past couple weeks, some of these breakouts weren't tight. Um, and it drove that FOMO for me. I'm like, why? Like these people are catching these breakouts, but they're not clean. Like I don't see what they're seeing. Like this was perfect. Like the people try to took Tesla on this day. I'm like, this is not. I don't think this is a clean setup. And this drove me to looking at the ADR on the current day or the day before it broke out. So my project here is tracking down the ticker, the date, and this date is this day here. It's not the day of the breakout. I want to look at the day before the breakout, and to see if there's a ratio or if there's like a sweet spot on okay the ADR or the daily range for that stock that day has to be a certain percentage of the ADR in order for it to be a good odds or best to have good odds in that breaking on for the breakout to work, I guess. Um, so the idea is check this out. Ticker date. The date is the obviously I said it again. The day before the breakout, and the daily range before the breakout. So what this means is I'm gonna bring this down, or I can just minimize this here. Here we So for Tesla here, this is 9/11/25. So if I zoom in, it's gonna look like horrible. But this day here is 9. Oh, I lied to myself. This is the wrong day. It's 9/10, right? Yeah, 9/10. Of course, the one example I use is wrong. Anyways, 9/10 here. So if you look on the top left corner of my screen, you see where it says Wednesday, the date, the ticker, the price of the I think close, the open, high, the low, all the data from the chart in a little square or rectangular box. But if you look towards the bottom half, like the middle of the bottom half, you can see where it says, or if you just look perfectly in the middle, you look, it says volume, and it says average volume, and it says ATR, and then you have two parentheses H minus L, so that's like high minus low divided by the close. It's an algorithm, not algorithm. It's a equation, and it calculates the first line of the white, which is the two parentheses. That one is the the daily range or the range that stock had that day. So for example, Tesla on 9/10/25 had a 2.95% range. So it moved from its high to low roughly 3%. For the high to low is 3%. Or the low to high. Sorry. The low to high. Sorry. I gotta measure this now. Yeah, so it's what the hell? Yeah. So its low to high was roughly 2.95, for example. And if you look at the line below it where it says parentheses 100 times blah blah blah, that is the ADR of that stock that day. So for example, if you look at it's not up here, where's it at? It's hiding. Usually it's up here. Okay, anyways. Looking at the ADR on Tesla for Friday, the ADR is 4.76. So if you go back to this day here, the ADR at this time on this day was 3.42. So I'm trying to figure out if the ADR has to be below, or the daily range has to be below the ADR, and if it does, what is the percentage of the ADR that it has to be? Kind of confusing, but let me go back to this Google Sheets here. You can see the daily range before the breakout, 2.95, right? 2.95, you see that right there. Go back. The ADR before the breakout was 3.42, and then the ratio is 86.3. So the daily range was 86.3% was 86.3% of the ADR. And then I tracked the move from the breakout. How do I freaking go sideways here? Oh, here it is. Then I tracked the move from the breakout open to the high of the move. So for Tesla here, I think it was this one to the peak there, which was 33%, and then the move from the breakout to the close under the 10-day. So roughly. Okay, I think maybe this day here. But either way, it's um, here we go. So the open here to the high before the close. So here was 33%, and then the percentage move before the first close, or the percentage move after the first close under the 10-day. It ended up being 22%. So the height of the move compared to the close under the 10-day was a 33% decline. So from here to there, comparative to this move was 33%. So if this here start finish high, the move from here to here was 33% negative. This is just some stats that I'm taking down just to see, and then obviously it's going to correlate to the ADR. And then I also did it with the 20, and then it's likewise with the height of the move. This is just the ratio of these two numbers, so I can do that at the end. But the real thing I'm looking at is this ratio here. You can see some stocks here, for example, Tesla on 11/7/20. The daily range before the breakout was 6.56. So 6.5% was the range from low to high, and then the ADR before the breakout was 4.08. So that one, you know, this data might be wrong, completely wrong. I don't know. We'll find out. Like in terms of that, there is no ratio. There is no golden ratio. Breakouts happen whether they're tight or loose, and the average range, blah blah blah. So this is what I've been doing. I've only done 40, or technically 40 tickers or 40 examples. I plan to look through every single one. Now this might take me a really long time, but it's my own data. So yeah, I won't be mad at that. Doing work for myself. But let's see here. Like this one was AP HPIQ. I don't even know. But the daily range on that day before the breakout was 11.3, and then the ADR at the time was 56. So the ratio was 20%. So I might find some things depending on ADR and the tightness before the day of the breakout. That's something I was trying to look into. Anyways, going on another rant. That's what I've been doing. Anyways, max data loss. Nope, didn't take. Nope, nope. I was pretty consistent on that trading, so no emotions came up. Nope. Didn't have to do that. That doesn't happen. Nothing. Zero. What new notes or refinements added to the playbook from trades? Nothing. There wasn't any setups. So, which setups show the highest edge? Probably shorting. Just shorting the overall market. No, I don't know if that's a setup. What's number one priority to improve next week? Just keep studying. Looking at setups. Screenshotting setups, adding to the database, doing write-ups. If you look at my Evernote, where's my Evernote? I don't have it pinned. Oh. I haven't added one. I haven't added to my Evernote in a while. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. So all this talk about adding stuff, I'm just talking. I'm not actually doing the work, which needs to be done. So Evernote finally opened up. So the last thing I studied was the memory stocks. I actually haven't touched this thing in 23 days. Shoot. But that goes to show like there hasn't been anything moving since this past 23 days. Honestly, and I can do a search on that too. So if I go through roughly 23 days, if I go to I don't know. I like to do the SPY. I don't know why. Let's go move back. See, this was a height. The last time I put something in the market was as the height of the market. So, as you can see here, the market's gone straight down since the 29th, which is the last day I put an example in to study, which is kind of funny. It's almost like my notebook is telling me something. But if I go to tools, custom date sort, I'll go from here to here and let's find the biggest moves from my last entry in my database. Sort in the window. Okay, let's go to U.S. stocks. Press the biggest changes here. CYPH, biotech. That's not a setup. This is not a setup. No setup here. Possibly an EP setup here, but I don't know. See this biotech stuff. I don't really pay attention to. I know they make the biggest moves, but they also very risky, and just like the language they use, I don't. Whatever. I don't touch them. But tell me anything here is a real stock making some real moves. This one. This is a great one. But at the time, the ADR was 8.89. So this is not a bad setup. This one was a pretty good one. So that's one missed setup. Another biotech name. Kind of gone sideways. No, if you bought it this day, obviously would have got stopped out, I think, unless it went down first and then up and then back down. But another biotech that I don't like the history of. Same thing here, no setup, no setup, no setup. me if you see a setup. I don't really see anything. Okay, I will give this one an okay setup. But when do you buy it? This day or this day? With knowing that earnings is coming up. Nah, that's tough. So this is a no setup for me. Honestly, in my opinion, this is a no setup. Buying a stock a couple days before earnings, kind of scary. Another biotech. Another biotech. Minerals and mines. These horrible. No setup. So as you can see, I haven't added anything to my okay, this one wasn't that bad. This wasn't that bad at all. But once again, are you buying this breakout before earnings? Are you buying this breakout before earnings? Now, mind you, this was a great breakout. It is. It was actually a pretty nice one. ADR, look, ADR is 4 though. So are you really trading that? I don't know. I'm not even touching this one. It's too slow. But it worked. But it worked after earnings. So this is gamble. This day here is a gamble. You probably buy it this day. So one setup so far. This one, another earnings play. Yeah. I don't know how I would feel. I probably didn't trade this one because having a recent sell-off like this on 5.4 million shares of volume, which is like the highest volume this stock has had in 3 years. Yeah, 3 years. I don't feel comfortable buying all into all of this supply here, all of this, all this. I mean, it worked, but this is not a setup for me. It's under. It broke out. It's off the lows, still underneath the moving averages. This could have rejected here, could have rejected here, although it didn't. But and then it had all this room, 65, 70, of supply that it could have gone into. But I guess it didn't. So oh well. Um, Another biotech. Like there we go. Like there's nothing at all. Like there's nothing. Oops, what's this one? Oh, one more. Okay, now this one. I don't know why they went up so much. They missed on both, but it went up. It worked. Oh, it's McGraw Hill. Oh, okay. Their revenue was raised. Their outlook. So I think this is a good setup. Honestly, fresh IPO. This gapped up over its moving averages, and it's gone straight up. So okay, 2 setups that I missed. This one should probably be on watch. GH. Okay, 3 maybe 3. Not touching this one. Either am I touching this one? This one wasn't too bad. This one's a pretty good one. I like this one. Right sector, medical has been moving pretty well. Healthcare, they had earnings. I'm sure they had great earnings. Yeah, I'm sure they had fantastic earnings. Whatever. 4 setups. This one. Great setup. 5. 5 setups. Another earnings. Yeah. 6. What's the ADR this day though? 6, 6, 7, 6, 7. Alrighty. Let's look through more. Let's make this video long. Let's look at all these biotechs. Jeez, always. GSAT. This was rough. Exploring a possible sale. To me, this is like a buyout. Has had preliminary talks with SpaceX potential buyers. Basically, like a buyout stock. These, if you miss this move here, there's no reason else to buy it because they'll usually go sideways. But as you can see, oh, what's this one? House? Yeah, that's the one I missed too. So 7. All right, this is a good one. Oh no, this one's a good one. Another biotech company. Okay, they got a buy rating. Okay, let's go. 8. So you look at these names. A lot of these EP names have been diagnostic and research. All these biotech companies. Biotech is something I don't like to trade though. I just don't like them. I don't like them at all. So like I say 6 or 7 of these setups are biotechs and healthcare names. So look at all this. Look at all this. Medical devices, biotechs, computer systems, biotechs, drug manufacturers, biotech. It's Playboy? It is. But as you can see, there wasn't really much setups, to be honest. CSIQ. Okay. This one I did miss though, but here's the thing. You buy it here, the day it gaps up, you get stopped out the next day, and then it takes off. Hard for me to buy that next day. This day here, the third one. Hard to get the idea. That's it. It's a long video already. I didn't want it to be this long, but you get the idea of what I'm trying to say. Let's go back. What's the number one priority for next week? Trade the best setups. What daily process change is committed to that for? What daily process change is committed to for making that improvement real? Am I dyslexic? What daily process change is committed to for making that improvement real? Okay, I don't know if I'm reading that wrong, but or I don't know. Um, just scanning the markets at night to see what's setting up. Would this review make you proud or embarrassed? These will always make me proud. Um, Something most people won't do, and most people won't be true with themselves. And so yeah, this will always make me proud. Summary letter to future me. Recapping this week, pointing out sticking points. You seem to have a grasp on when to not trade. I wouldn't say you have the sixth sense, but you do. I guess your process pushes you to, or allows you. Your process is built in a way where it keeps you out of these downtrending markets and these blow off tops, so to speak. I think you will always be in these blow off tops. You're always gonna have a position because you don't know when it's gonna be a blow off top. But you will be in them, whether it's other accounts that you trade, your Roth, your personal trading account, other people's accounts, whatever. But you will most likely always be in them. And when those fail, those are typically the sign to stop trading. And it's worked pretty well at this time, and back in April. So getting out of the bad periods is something that we do well, or you do well. Not trading is obviously very easy. I think something you struggle with is pulling the trigger. So, other than that, I think you're doing all right. I think you're doing well at this time. And I hope the future me is still putting in the time and the work and is achieving their dreams like the current me wants to. And I hope the future me is much better than I am now. And that's due to the me that's in between you and me. Kind of deception right there, or inspection, and not inspection, interception. I don't know, whatever. I'm an idiot. But yeah, so keep trucking along, keep putting in work. You are starting to track data on these ADR, the daily ranges versus ADR, and we'll see if if future me uses this data for their trading, and let's see if there is if it's statistically significant on finding a ratio for breakouts in terms of, oh, if you saw this video, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I think that's it. Keep going, keep doing it. It's never been easy. It's been 5 years or not five, roughly 4 5 years, on and off. One full year, 1.5 full years of pure pain, I guess. There's some good times, but just gotta get a grasp. Yeah, but I think that's it. I think you're good.